Imagine like the massive fucking balls to just walk out with a rifle and get bombed anyways.
That's such a cool idea. I'm like, well, I'm a cool fucking guy. You should come to me for ideas all the time.
They have nothing because they're so nihilistic.
If you're ever going to clip me for any reason, clip this. Everything you were taught to believe about our society is fucking wrong. What's up, everybody? Welcome to Making America. I'm Noah. That's Justin. That's the gay guy. I forget his name. And Richie, unfortunately, will not be with us tonight. It's going to be a crazy show, so I'm kind of bummed Richie's not here because apparently we're in the middle of World War III and nobody fucking knew it until now. So we're going to talk about that. We're going to talk about the new Silverado I got because it's fucking pimp. And we're going to talk about a lot more after we listen to some music. And then the music will play. All right, I want to jump right into it. I am so sick of hearing neocons give me some new excuse that we need to free some random people we never even met, that we're never gonna meet, while our country is struggling. Like 70% of us are working paycheck to paycheck. Almost all of us are swimming in debt. Our ruling elite are, killing and eating kids, like for real. What else is happening? The economy's being trashed. Everything's more expensive. Our wages aren't rising to meet that, meaning everyone's poorer and poorer. And it's just like, why the fuck are we supposed to care? Look, I feel bad for people in Iran, don't get me wrong, but you want me to like get gung-ho about murdering these people and somehow it's gonna bring them freedom while our country isn't free? That doesn't make sense to me. It's not like it's gonna bring them freedom in the first place. I mean, it's 2026. I don't think anyone even believes that anymore, but they still keep peppering us with that. And that's what bothers me. It's like the media treats us as if we're all a bunch of retards. And when we go along with it and we don't do anything about it, we become retards.
Yeah, the ruling class straight up thinks we're retarded. Like, who's that guy, Michael Tracy or whatever? The weird, like, sweaty neck beard that, like, it's really crazy how, like, you can point out documents where they're casually talking about how infant babies taste like cream cheese. And there's, like, photos of fucking Jeffrey Epstein, like, biting a little girl's back end. And he thinks it's funny. And then like Michael Tracy will just pop up and be like, it seems like you're not being very rational right now. I think we need a little bit more nuance. And I'm like, I'm Jeffrey Epstein's unofficial lawyer on Twitter. And he'll just like fucking play Lawyer Bob SquarePants to fucking Jeffrey Epstein.
Yo, I don't know if you guys saw it, but Trump gave an interview the other day. I think it was yesterday. He was talking about that, trying to justify the war in Iran, saying that they cut women in half and they kill babies and blah, blah, all that shit. And it's like, it's the same exact thing as the incubator babies. In Kuwait, I think, right? Or
in Iraq, right? They were saying that Saddam Hussein.
They were saying that we gotta invade Iraq because the Iraqis are taking the babies out of the incubators in Kuwait.
Yeah. I mean, it's just a recycled fucking bullshit lie. It's ridiculous. But at the same time, though, I mean, it was just proven. Legitimately just proven that our fucking politicians and celebrities eat babies and rape them and just do disgusting things to children. So like it's just disgusting, So it's like it's what they say, like in every lie there's a self-incrimination or whatever.
Well, for our Zio-Nazi like retard deep state, every accusation is a confession for them.
Yeah, that's what I was trying to say.
Yeah.
Sometimes I feel like they're looking to see how far they can go. You know, they knew the Epstein files were going to get released long before they got released. And there's got to be just people like within wherever they go to hang out, like at Little Jimmy Island or whatever the fuck it was. And they're just like, you know what, guys, fuck it. Let's just be crazy out loud, 24/7. What are the American people going to do? We've cucked them so hard, it's not going to matter. We can do whatever we want. And that's what it seems like they think. Have you guys ever heard about like the theory that there's just bunkers underneath the U.S. that all these people have, like cities where the rich people can stay if things get too hot?
That's the DUMBs, deep underground military bases where they have a de facto alternative presidency underneath the ground. They have their own alternative civilization underground, energy production facilities, and water purification facilities. Yeah.
Yeah, what's that show about that with that one black dude from what's that really sad NBC show? This Is Us or whatever?
I haven't seen that.
There's a good show on Apple that does something similar called Silo. That show is amazing. It's got Common in it, and what's his face from Shawshank Redemption?
Morgan Freeman.
No, the other star of Shawshank Redemption.
I have no
idea. The white dude?
Yeah, the real tall guy. Who is he?
I don't remember his name.
That guy? Yeah, that guy. And that's Tim Robbins. And that's him in Silo. And they basically, so there's like 10,000 people living in this silo, but something happened to their records. No one knows how they got there or why they're there. They just know that it's not safe to go outside. It's a great show.
If you like mudding in your shitbox fucking dune buggy and going to Slipknot shows, you better like and subscribe, dude.
I mean, I could talk about Silo all day and talk about my theories about it, but the point is, like, I feel like they're shoring up things and just planning on letting us dirty plebs die up here while they live just fine down there, right? This whole thing, they tell us, oh, we're going to drive down the gas prices by taking their oil and this and that, but that's just not how it works. Look, they kidnapped Maduro. That was supposed to be for oil deals, right? Gas just went up like 50 cents a gallon, like a huge amount, because the point isn't to give us cheaper gas, it's to get those oil companies more money. And they get more money by keeping that oil in the ground, not allowing Venezuela to sell more. Why did they invade Iraq back in the day, right? It wasn't because Saddam Hussein was going around taking babies out of Kuwaiti incubators and like lassoing people with them, right?
It's because he was going to attempt to nationalize the oil.
And he wanted to actually sell Iraqi oil on the international markets.
The U.S. hegemony's monopoly.
Right. And it's always about the money. And like, why do we fall for it? Look, we know social media is completely gamed and full of bots and bullshit. Yet when we see people saying like, oh, we got to liberate these poor Iranian women and give them OnlyFans, we believe it. We know all these things. Like, just connect the fucking dots, people.
Well, hey, crazy conspiracy that I can't take credit for. I saw that on Twitter, but the removal of, the arrest, the kidnapping of Maduro, and the stealing of, what was it, 6 million barrels of oil or whatever the fuck it was. It wasn't for oil companies or, definitely wasn't to drive down the price of oil here in the U.S., but it was because they were anticipating war with Iran. They were anticipating the closure of the Strait of Hormuz, which is responsible for 20% of the world's trafficked oil. I hate to admit it, it's a fucking smart move, but it's all under the guise of bullshit. It's all under the guise of making our lives better as Americans. But in reality, it's just all premeditated, all in the name of hegemony.
That oil, immediately after they misappropriated it, they shipped it straight to Israel. So yeah, that conspiracy theory tracks.
Exactly right.
Because, like you said, like they're doing it in preparation, and it kills 3 frogs with one log, right? Because it cuts off one of the energy supplies to China, because we all know that even though they've given up the direct pivot to China, they still want to assert hegemony in the Western Hemisphere in order to later on recoup resources and then go after China later, right? So it gets rid of one of the supplies with Venezuela. Then if they can at the very least destabilize Iran, it'll make it more difficult for the energy reserves to be distributed from Iran to China. So they're killing 3 frogs with 1 log here, and not just 2 birds with 1 stone.
Do you think, Justin, that that's why they kill Khamenei, the destabilization factor, rather than, because I mean, taking him out, like there are, I mean, another leader has already stepped up to take his place, right? I feel like killing one man, even a beloved leader like that, doesn't do all that much if military conquest is what you're looking for. But if you're looking for the like chaos factor, I feel like it would help. You know what I mean?
The problem with this, like, so I believe that was the intention. I think what you're pointing out is you have identified like their mentality. It's absolutely retarded though, because you've basically killed someone who is like de facto like Shia Muslim version of the Pope, and this has absolutely backfired. He was an 86-year-old dude who left the shelter of his family that had his granddaughters in it. He walked out with a fucking rifle in order to like defend his family and his country. At 86 years old, like imagine like the massive fucking balls to just walk out with a rifle and get bombed anyways. And the fact that he died like that, plus the fact that he was already held in such high regard across the world by multitudes and multitudes of Shia Muslims. You basically have just functionally emboldened a people who already felt cornered to begin with after they've repeatedly tried to establish diplomatic cables with the West and the United States. I saw a post talking about how like the negotiations are over. Donald Trump had to contact the Italian embassy in Italy in order to try to reach out to Iran, because Italy still has relatively neutral relations with Iran, so the cables were still open. Donald Trump tries to contact Iran through Italy. They find out it's Donald Trump, and they just hung up, supposedly. There's no discussion. It's done. They're viewing this as an existential war for their freedom and to live. There's also rumors I've been seeing on Twitter from other like military news accounts saying that like after they bombed and killed Khamenei, the IRGC has become so emboldened that they're at a point where this guy Przynski or whatever, who's the reformist prime minister who wants to establish friendly relations with Israel and the United States, the IRGC has now supposedly adopted an attitude like, we will shoot you. We will fucking shoot you if you try to stop us from fighting the United States. Like they are at a mindset where like if you're like, oh, like let's try to talk with it, they will kill you for suggesting establishing diplomatic cables.
Well, can I interject?
It's gotten. Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, so I mean, what we're seeing right now is like it's a huge underestimation of the spirit of the Iranian people, not just the Iranian people, but the Shias of all over the world. You know, I mean, you see uprisings in Pakistan, Kuwait, Beirut, you know, all over the fucking place. And if you kill one of them, there's a million more that are trying to fucking take their place. You know, these people are ready to step up, you know. That's just the spirit of these people. I mean, it dates all the way back to the Persian Empire. You know, what was it, 3,500 years ago, 2,500 years ago, something like that. I mean, these are ancient people who have, you know, died on their shields in the past, historically, and nothing has changed. It's the spirit they're in. But, I mean, what you said about Pezeshkian, Justin, the president of Iran, it was known that he was a liberal. You know, this dude's a huge faggot. He's tried to sell out before in the past. Like you said, he's a reformist. And that's why before Khamenei died, he called for the activation of the Mosaic Defense, which gives generals autonomy over their troops. Right. So power's not in one hand. Power is in many hands spread across many minds, so that Pezeshkian can't make that executive decision that's going to say, all right, we're going to roll over. You know, we're going to hand you over fucking all of our oil fields and all that. And you can instate OnlyFans liberalism in Iran. So, I mean, Khomeini, he was a genius for that.
What I'd like to also point out is like the trying to like militarily and forcibly impose like OnlyFans culture into Iran after it's already been visited upon the United States population and Western populations, I think it's very telling of our own domestic politics. I made a post on Twitter where there was an attempt at like a feel-good news story of a teen woman. I think she was like 18 or 19, and she had life-threatening cancer, and she opened up an OnlyFans account in order to pay for her chemotherapy bills. And she basically indulges like the bald-headed woman fetishes and the chemo bruise, cancer bruise fetishes of men online. And I was like, you know, this is like diabolically absurd and tragic that
that's fucking crazy.
we promote this. They're trying to promote it as like a kid selling lemonade at a lemonade stand, like feels good story. Like, oh, they're starting their own business and it's entrepreneurship. And I'm like, the war on Iran reveals how we have already been conquered without a shot being fired. Our own people in America are conquered by this cultural and psychological zeitgeist that pimps out our mothers, our women, and our daughters and our sisters, and essentially turns them into playthings for the ruling class, where as long as you have disposable income and money, you can buy whoever you want. That's essentially what it is.
Look, she's not a fucking entrepreneur. She is a hooker working for a pimp called OnlyFans. That's what she is. And she's reduced to this, and they try to spin it as if this is a good thing. Like this woman wants to be doing this instead of just having healthcare that's affordable, that's reasonable, right? That seems insane to me. And then they try to force this kind of thing on Iran, and they wonder why they keep underestimating the spirit of all these other people all over the world who, I mean, China stands up and they say, fuck you. The Russians, they stand up and they say, fuck you. The Iranians stand up and say, fuck you. All of these people keep doing this. And I think I know why, because they're used to us. The Iranians right now have the same spirit that George Washington had, that Thomas Jefferson and Thomas Paine and Benjamin Franklin all had, where they stood up to King George and said, fuck you. And then you look at America, who's standing up and saying, fuck you? Not a one of us. We're sitting here going, oh, this is so messed up, whining on social media and then talking about how Iran should have OnlyFans too, because we're easily manipulated fucking cattle.
Even more like vicious and nefarious, like cruel irony of this. And this is not me talking out of my ass. This is a statistical fact. Yeah, I was literally just about to say that. I was literally just about to say that. So while people are indulging in bald-headed woman cancer fetishes, OnlyFans is the top donor to AIPAC and the Israeli lobby. This war that American men and women are going to die in is being directly funded and contributed. Exactly. That more of them are going to die in. Yeah, it's being directly funded by the pimping out of American women. So you can't really put a better cherry on top than that. Like, what else can what can the Onion News like parody? What can South Park sarcastically make fun of anymore? Reality writes the fucking jokes. Our government is a joke. Our society is a fucking joke. It doesn't get any worse than that.
I don't want to be a negative Nelly here, but I'm just, I've had enough. You know what I mean? It's like
nothing's a joke. It's not a joke.
I agree. All they do is give us a better way to look at our cage, and we just take it.
Yes.
Every time when we say, oh, those bars are beautiful. What? This isn't a cage. It's like when you're locked up in prison, right? You get this disgusting mound of slop. And they're like, oh, yeah, but you can make a break out of that. You know, you can pour some ramen noodle flavor in there, chop up a Slim Jim, and it'll be good. You can use it to work out. It's just a way of getting through the horror that is daily life. I don't know. Maybe I'm crazy. It does really seem to me like less people are satisfied with just looking at our gilded cage and being in awe of it now. They're starting to really see the bars. But the problem is we've been so psyoped and so socially engineered for so long that we don't even remember what it's like to have the spirit of Washington and Jefferson. We talk about it, but it's just like, flag wrapped pods that we're going to live in, right? Like our pods have an American flag out. We have Patriot bugs that we're eating.
Patriot living pods and Patriot protein bugs. Yeah. It was sponsored by Palantir. This U.S. Army military parade is sponsored by Coinbase and Palantir.
Where they hand out free Labubu's and blast Sexy Red.
Yeah, and the CIA is giving each other high fives and doing backflips in their fucking offices, dude.
All right, let me have a boomer moment here real quick. These guys have been talking about Labubus for like a year, and I have no goddamn clue what they are. What is a Labubu?
It's a collectible stuffed animal brand that was developed by a Dutch Hong Kong fucking artist guy, and there are some people that have tried to take a more, I don't know, they're like, oh, it's Chinese, so it's cool, and it's like, yeah, it's not really, it's Dutch Hong Kong. It's heavily liberal. It's a coping mechanism. You're compelling the most like mentally vulnerable people to engage in consumerism in order to cope with reality.
It's Punisher stickers on your truck for liberals.
Yeah, for like 14-year-old liberals, I guess. But wow. I don't know. I tell you guys what, you guys better harden your fucking hearts, because the shit storm that's going to be coming out of this whole Iranian war thing. I mean, it's crazy. I feel like they knew it was a losing battle, right? Going to war with Israel and the United States, it's a losing battle for a state like Iran. There's no axis of resistance. I mean, I'm sure you guys have heard that. There's no like fully formed freaking coalition between Russia, China, Iran, Venezuela, stuff like that. So the U.S. is just picking them apart. Really, every one by one. I mean, they tried to do it with Russia. I mean, they're weakening them with the Ukraine proxy war. We took Maduro. Now we're taking Iran. But Iran is in a much more strategic location. They have much more resources and shit. So I feel like, they're going to crash the whole oil market, which is going to fuck our grids. Yeah, like Thomas Massey made this beautiful tweet.
He's like the last cool politician.
I called out fucking Nick Land. I was like, you don't even know what the fuck. Like, he calls Peter Thiel libertarian. I'm like, you don't even know what the fuck libertarian means in the American context contemporarily. Like, Ron Paul is a fucking libertarian. Thomas Massey is a libertarian. Peter Thiel is anti-libertarian. He's against the constitutional right to privacy. He's against the constitutional right of freedom of speech. Like, these are people that, like, Thomas Massey has 3%ers on his side. He has like gun-toting, like, militia men that are like muscle bound. They wear plate carriers in the middle of like the Tennessee swamp woods, and they do fucking training regimens, like simulating the collapse of the U.S. empire. Like, you don't know what the fuck you're talking about. Like, stick to British politics.
There is something to be said for being overt and knowing who the enemy is, and just refusing to allow all of the subterfuge and lies and deception to stand. I feel like the Soviets were smarter than the Russians. Say what you want, but at least they knew who the enemy was. When the Soviet Union fell, Russia was like, all right, West, let's do this capitalism thing, right? And the US is like, oh, you thought you were going to be up here in the boardroom with us? Nah, you're the janitor, son, right? And Russia was like, well, fuck that, we'll do our own thing. And they have been, but during the Soviet era, they had things like the Comintern, right? They had their own formal alliances of all these communist countries, and they were like, look, we know that the enemy is these capitalist countries. They're aggressing on us. We need to band together no matter what and fight back however we can. And these days, since the fall of that Soviet Union and that very smart tactic they had, the entire world almost has been balkanized, right? Why do they call it balkanization in the first place? Well, because that's how the Balkans are, right? That entire region
against each other, yeah,
gets played against each other, right? And so
it's a very Anglo strategy. It's very Anglo-imperial. It's literally
divide and conquer
by the British Empire, divide and conquer. Yeah.
Well, that's what they're trying to do in the Middle East right now. I mean, they got Israel striking Kuwait, the Saudis, Bahrain, stuff like that, and then saying it was the Iranians. I don't know if you guys saw that, but the Iranian foreign minister, he released a statement saying like, "Hey, this was not us. This was not us. This was not us." It's like, I don't know where the fuck these missiles came from, but it wasn't fucking Iranian missiles. So I mean, it's like the whole fucking Twin Towers thing, you know? It's all false flags.
Except nobody doing a dance now.
Yeah.
There's a fucking my older brother, we have our own like personal, just my own personal anecdote. Like we were going back and forth. He kind of fell down a rabbit hole one day. He voted for Trump, but he's not liking the, he basically said like, I got scammed, like this is not what me and my family voted for. And he thinks that all this shit is like psyops on psyops. He fell down a rabbit hole about World War I and how the Rothschild British royal family basically directly funded everyone against one another in World War I, and that set the foundation and the playing stage for World War II, where the Treaty of Versailles backed the Germans into a corner by economically repressing them, which gave rise to Hitler. And the British royal family directly funded Hitler with $9 million worth of gold. So he started, like, after I started telling him about the files that came out and how Jeffrey Epstein bragged to people in emails about how like I'm a representative and liaison and mediator on behalf of the Rothschild royal family, he was like, holy shit, like this whole divide and conquer strategy, like it benefits like the banks of London and the Rothschild family.
That's what I'm talking about, right? And your brother is just like a regular dude.
Yeah, he's a welder and pile driver. He's not a political theorist or any shit like that. He just, for him, he has a good intuition. When something stinks, he's like, this stinks from a mile away, like this stinks to high heaven. The Hong Kong riots, when he saw that in the news, he was like, wait a second. And he started looking into it, and then he found out on his own that the National Endowment for Democracy was funding those riots.
It's wild. Basically, everything we're taught to believe is wrong. If you're ever going to clip me for any reason, clip this. Everything you were taught to believe about our society is fucking wrong. It's true. And it's like I was saying earlier, people are starting to wise up, right? But it's been so long that we've been so socially engineered that we don't know what to do with it. So we get like retards falling for another layer of a psyop onion. Because that's, I mean, just think about it from the Epstein perspective for a moment. You know, every lie can have truth shown on it. So why wouldn't you set yourself up and insulate yourself with more, right? So you get people believing retards like Nick Fuentes. And they're like, oh, I got it all figured out now. It's just the Jews, right? Like, and it's not, it has nothing to do with the Rothschilds being the Rothschilds, right? It's just because some retarded shit, some soft kid that's never worked said, you know what I mean? So that's where my worry is right now, right? Because we're waking up, but we're waking up to another dream. It's like when you wake up in a dream, right? Have you ever done that? And then you wake up again and you're like, oh, that was crazy. It's some Inception shit. That's what it is.
Yo, speaking of retards, did you guys see Andrew Tate in Dubai? That whole fucking thing?
I saw that. Yeah.
What the fuck was even the point? Hey, Ryan, pull up that the tweet that I sent in the group chat real quick. This fucking faggot. This fucking. It's so funny.
Oh, hold on.
Whoa!
Oh, Richie!
How did Richie get up?
Oh, pretty boy Richie with the sun glistening on his beard and everything. Damn,
Look
bro.
at this guy.
Oh man, the sun's killing me right now.
Look
I'm over here in
Ohio.
You're in Ohio?
Yeah, I'm in Ohio.
Come over, brother. Just do the podcast here at my house.
I just delivered to Newark, Ohio, and I'm at a truck stop. Yeah, I'm at a truck stop over here by Akron, Ohio.
For real, how close to Cleveland are you?
I'm in Akron, so I'm probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours from Cleveland.
Oh man, if it wasn't late, I'd say we could go get dinner or a drink or something.
I can't even make it up there because I have no hours. I have no drive time.
Hey Richie, I just want to say you are the whitest Dominican person I've ever seen in my entire life.
There's actually another Dominican woman on TikTok. Her name is Masha. She is blue eyes, blonde hair, She is half Russian, half Dominican, and she was raised in the DR, so she is the whitest Dominican out there.
Holy cow!
But I tan though. I tan the sun.
Exactly all the women on TikTok look like, right?
Yeah, man. Gotta have some eye candy. Like and subscribe, guys. I'm all the way out here in Ohio.
All right, we were about to watch this dude do some dumb shit. Oh, that ain't him.
No, that's Andrew Tate. Yo, look at how gay this dude looks, bro. Look at
He's looking zesty as fuck.
What's with it? Why is he sticking his butt out like that?
Yo, and he's wearing like fucking like ballet flat shoes, bro.
This dude shoots like this.
Yeah. Like every female spy movie, you know what I mean?
This is fucking crazy, dude. He's looking zesty as hell.
Yo, if any of you guys were wondering, Noah taught him how to shoot a gun. That's Noah's form right there. But speaking of this faggot though, he's going around Dubai, fucking trying to keep the property values up in Dubai. Probably getting paid to do it. Well, there's bombs going off all fucking around him. He's the only motherfucker there.
This is so retarded.
What is with that? That is such a weird stance. Why? Why? I got made fun of for my stance once. I was at the range with a couple friends, and what I do is the table sits about right here or so. Well, I'm 5'8", so for me it sits about right here, and I brace like my ribs against the table, one arm against the left, and then my left knee against that wall, so I'm like insulated on 3 points, and then I shoot. Right, I take aim and I shoot. And my buddy was like, "What the fuck are you making love to the wall for?" Right, and I'm like, dude, if you ain't cheating, you ain't shooting. Like, if it's, like, why would I have nothing bracing me when I know this? Like right now, my carry piece is an FN Reflex compact, a 9mm. Right, it's got kick to it, not like crazy kick, but kick. Why would I just stand there like fucking Andrew Tate with my ass out when I could brace myself and remove some of that and have a better shot? And it just blew his mind, right? He's like, I can't believe that. Like, that's such a cool idea. I'm like, well, I'm a cool fucking guy. You should come to me for ideas all the time.
Or just get fucking stronger wrists,
Damn.
Them weak little wrists.
Damn.
You're swinging like an 8-ounce hammer at work.
That one.
Or something.
You gotta be comfortable when you're shooting.
If you have limp enough wrists, though, you got some velocity action when you pistol whip somebody. You can just,
I thought we were friends, Phil.
I call it how I see it. We're still friends, but I'm your biggest critic.
It's fine. You're gay.
I wanted to say even I have better form than Andrew Tate.
Yo, I don't disbelieve that. I bet Ren. Oh, look at that. That's our producer, Ren.
Yeah.
There we go.
Look at her go.
Look at that.
Andrew Tate could never.
That's
Andrew Tate could never.
Really?
Yeah, I got a bullseye on it.
That's fantastic. Congratulations. Yeah, see, don't fuck with Ren ever. When the American Civil War happens, like, look, we can all shoot, but we're just gonna hide behind Ren.
Yeah.
Bonafide femme fatale right there.
Right?
Shoot you dead.
Damn. That wife's pretty good. She's like she has this thing where like loud noises freak her out, right? She's like a fucking cat. And I took her to the range for the first time ever. I got her her own carry piece now. She has this like really cool little Bodyguard 2.0, which is way better than the first Bodyguard for anyone who's into guns. So we go in there, and like at first she was like, I can't do this, because there's just random pop, 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 pop. Right? 20 minutes in, she was having the time of her life, already getting better. Maybe there's something about women and their dedication, and it's just better than ours.
No, I've never been to a range before.
Well, that's because you're gay, Phil.
Well, it's only been in the streets and in the wild. I ain't never been to a fucking range.
Phil said he had
wild
it in the
shooting.
streets, not in the driveway, in the streets.
Yeah.
Only ranges I've been to are indoor ranges.
Yeah,
I've never been to like a legitimate range though. It's just always fucking someone's land, whatever, you know.
Well, come up to Cleveland. There's a good one, like very close to my house. I'll take you to it if you want. You're not that far in Buffalo, man.
No, not at all. Well, there's probably like what, 3 hours, 2 hours?
Yeah, if that, man. It's real close. Well, maybe more like 4, because you got to go like across the top of PA. Richie should know. Richie, how far of a drive is it from Buffalo to Cleveland?
I would say 4 hours.
That's a long drunk drive home, dude.
I don't know. I might be wrong.
I got a back porch you can sleep on.
I've slept
I
on. I
gotta say, Richie, those are some baller sunglasses.
Oh man, I need them because the sun's always shining in my face, man. In the morning and in the evening.
You look like a snowboarder in 1997. I love it.
What are those Z87s?
I don't know, man. I just got them at a dollar store. I don't know what they are.
Nice.
They're cheap. They're just cheap. I don't know. I don't care what brand it is. I buy whatever.
Dude, I see him in the truck, like cab of his truck. It's making me want to go drive my new. I just bought a new truck yesterday, guys.
Congratulations.
2025 Silverado.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
It'd be cooler if it was a Ford though.
I love that. I love that fucking meme.
That was a joke. We were just joking around calling Fords gay in the chat.
Yeah. Well, I love Ford. I test drove an F-150. I'm not gonna lie, they drive nice, but like the whole time, my wife was with me, right? I dragged her to go buy a truck with me because I didn't want to. You know how long it is once you're actually in the process of buying it. Like I didn't want to just sit there by myself, right? So like I dragged my wife along. She's in the passenger seat of this F-150, and the whole time she's going, dude, it feels like it's trying so hard to be all bougie. And I'm like, yeah, you know what? You're right. Like the screen with like all your internet stuff and the backup cameras, it was shit you not about this big. And I'm like, jeez. I mean, that's nice, but why?
They put all these bells and whistles in these new trucks, and it's like I'm just gonna beat the fuck out of it. It's a work truck, man. Like I don't give a fuck. Like why am I paying $85,000 for something I'm just gonna load up? Like I'm gonna help my parents like get shingles out of the yard or whatever. Like I don't give a fuck. Like all this extra bells and whistles shit like is mad gay. Like I don't need it. Fucking I'll
tell you what, there's a couple whistles I like. Heated steering wheel is awesome.
Oh, that's so gay, dude.
You should
what?
Appreciate a heated steering wheel.
Dude, Richie got activated. Richie was activated. He's like, what? Heated steering wheel?
I've never heard of that before in my life.
Like and subscribe if you support white Dominican people.
Yo, this thing. So I got to use Silverado. I got heated steering wheel, heated seats, which is obvious, right? And the running board has like a tiny bit of chip paint, but I don't care. The coolest thing is all of the windows are tinted, so like I could have all kinds of secret shit in there, and nobody will be the wiser, you know?
Like a boyfriend.
Why does your mind go, I could be a boyfriend?
That's not the first place my mind went to, but
it
was a good play.
Said.
It was a good play.
I'll always love that meme that's like, you ever been beaten by your wife with a wet spaghetti noodle because you got confused because she has a twin sister and you fucked her dad? That's what it's like to drive a Ford F-150. That shit is so funny, bro. And it's like, well, if that's what it feels like, then I might have to pass. That's too bad. Like
look, let's be real. The F-150 is like the GC truck.
Yes, 100%.
You know, like the actual guys doing the work, we don't drive F-150s.
I mean, I don't
goes there and he like tells you how to do your job without doing it. That's the guy driving.
And if you are driving an F-150 to a job, it's like a 1997 fucking beater with like a nice big bench seat in the front, you know,
or an old 2003 Ford Ranger, you know.
Yeah, littered with beer cans.
littered with beer cans. Well, that's supposed to be Ram drivers, remember?
Oh yeah,
The fucking
Ram
Rams are
drivers,
supposed to be
90s Ford drivers, same
In
thing.
Cleveland, Rams are
Yeah.
real popular with black dudes. I've seen.
I mean, like,
yeah, like a couple of my my buddies at work, like they swear by their Rams.
Rams are nice. I like the Warlocks; those look cool as fuck. But like, it's always like, it's not all Ram drivers, but every time when it's a dude like riding my ass, like on the freeway when I'm already going 20 miles over the speed limit at like 3 a.m., they're like up my ass with high beams on and fucking like, you fucking get out of the fast lane, get out of the left lane. It's like, it's not all Ram drivers, but for some reason it's always a Ram driver.
It's not everyone who drives a Ram does that, but everyone who does that drives a Ram.
Yeah.
But I drove a Ram yesterday too, and their pedals on Rams are crazy sensitive.
Really?
And the fucking ashtray that's like filled to the brim. Get the fuck out of the way, man. I'm gonna ram you.
It's called a Ram.
Yeah.
There you go, Richie.
The name.
I love it.
And BMW drivers. BMW drivers are the fucking worst.
The beat my wife drivers, yeah.
Yeah, no. They
Lexus
don't have wives. They have skinny little wrists, and they're fucking gay.
The BMW drivers of the truck world. And has like a 6-inch fucking lift kit on it. That's fucking crazy. That's dope.
That's perfect.
That's awesome.
Lexus drivers are bad too, for real. They're
really?
terrible. Yeah.
We just all classify them as women. They're women drivers.
I've experienced that. Some Lexus drivers drive like total pricks sometimes, yeah.
They like think that like, oh, you got a Lexus, I'm gonna get out of your way. Fuck you. Right? Like, dude, I'll make my money the old-fashioned way by getting run over by a Lexus any day.
There you go.
Come hit
fall
me
off
on
the fucking ladder.
So fucking hard, you rich fuck.
Oh, I wanted to talk because you guys were talking about the rising price of like gas and living and shit, and we're gonna be facing an energy crisis. Without even that, like hitting the American populace, like people were already feeling the squeeze. And the way that they're trying to respond to it is like hashtag van life, hashtag RV life. We're living on the road.
Yeah.
Yo, guys, we're homeless. It's awesome.
Yeah, and they make like a social media thing about it.
I suspect that there's dark money behind that. They're trying to convince the American working class to lower their standards and be homeless. Yeah.
So they can use our fucking houses as investment collateral.
If you look at Ren, if you look at the section I put in there for the notes, there's a housing crisis and nomad lifestyle, or hashtag van life, and one of the first videos is on X. It's a post from Finance Dystopia or Financial Dystopia, and he's basically talking about what's happening with these people. They have like roaming caravans where they've been forced to undergo like an internodal network where they work together to figure out the local parking laws of each region, each province of each state, and regulation is going after them. And I really think that like we should take this seriously and consider, like, if you want to know where America's headed, this is a lot of where America's headed, where Americans are trying to run away from slipping through the cracks. They're trying to run away from being impoverished. They're trying to run away from being left destitute and isolated and alienated. But everywhere where they try to run, like van life, living on the ocean, tiny house, wherever they run, like regulatory purview always follows them and catches up to them. There's always a response, in the same way that like homeless people tried to get away from anti-homeless architecture and anti-homeless ringing noise emitters and all this other shit. Eventually, because like there's also people that are like, oh, we're gonna have compounds and off-grid living and et cetera, et cetera. You should strive in your community to make your own energy and purify your own water. That should be something you strive for. If it turns into like a nomadic compound thing, they'll always come up with a way to write laws to target you. There's a UFC fighter that fucking Eddie Liger has been posting who's talking about like eventually there's nowhere to run anymore. The only thing left to do is to dig your heels in the sand and fight. Iran woke up to this. Right? Iran woke up and realized like there is no negotiating with the Western hegemonic beast. They want to exterminate you. Americans still have not fully woken up to that. They haven't fully woken up to that there's nowhere to run anymore. No matter how hard you try to compromise and limit your lifestyle, eventually you're going to have to dig your heels in the sand. You're going to have to fight back.
Thomas Jefferson wrote in the Declaration of Independence, the men are given to suffer evil so long as there's evil to be suffered. It's only when we're forced to fight that we end up fighting. Mm-hmm. And I think we're sort of walking towards that inevitable point when people realize it's time to dig our heels in the sand and begin fighting.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, these whole fucking nomads, though, like, they're straight up fucking weirdos. They're retards and they're pussies is what they are. A bunch of drug addicts who try to escape reality, you know, and fucking they're like, oh, I have a fucking 1988 Astro van. Let's DoorDash across the United States to pay for our gas. It's
I spent 3 months in a truck once. That's the longest I've ever spent. And it's depressing. It is very depressing to live in a truck. Mm-hmm. I don't know how these people do it. I know some drivers who spent years in a truck, and I don't know how they do it, man. I have no idea.
Right?
I can't even. I don't even like an hour drive to the site in the morning. Like it right? That's like my pet peeve.
Me too, dude. It's ironic. I'm a truck driver, and I hate long commutes. I want to have the shortest commute as possible.
One of the best feelings in the world is walking in to my back door at the house I own after a hard day of work, and my wife has dinner that's been in the crock pot for hours, ready to go. She's right there smiling to meet me, and I get to just shed all my work shit. And it's our house. You know, we got our space, our shit. You don't have that in a van. You just don't. And I know, I mean, you're right, kind of right that they're pussies, Phil, but like, it's sad to me.
Yeah, it's sad renting too.
The fact that this has become enticing and like attractive to the American populace in the first place just goes to show that like this is economic failure beyond imagination. The fact that people are stooping to this is like crazy.
Well, what I would say to that is that it's depressing that these people would rather stick their fucking heads in the sand. You know what I mean? And just fucking run from it. It's like, where's your fucking balls, dude? Where's your common sense, in my opinion? It's like, get a fucking job, pull yourself up by your bootstraps, as much as I hate that fucking saying, and fucking make do with what you got. Stop fucking running from shit. You know what I mean? Put down the fucking bong. That's what I say.
I don't know. I think it's less an indictment of the individual and more an indictment of the system itself. That's what I would say.
Yeah. But I mean, we're all in the fucking system, you know? We all exist in it, you know, collectively.
The thing is, so doing like union jobs, there's times where repeatedly I get offered contracts that are like 2 hours, 2.5 hours away. Mm-hmm. And it's gotten to the point where because it's that far out and the wear and tear and the gas on your vehicle, me and my brother were talking about like, oh, I might just, you know, set aside 10, 20 grand, get a shit box like TJ and get one of those pop-up tents on there, and I'll just fucking camp out on the job site or something. If I have to spend that much money on 2 hours there, 2 hours back, that's 4 hours gone. And then that's discounting the fact that you're getting up at like 4 or 5 o'clock in the morning. So then like, even for me and my family, it's starting to look, it's like, oh, I might just do that just to save money on the fuel for the commute to the fucking job site. So the fact that it's even crossing our minds, I was like, it's getting to a point where we even thought, Ren says van life is gentrified trailer park life. That is how these function. And even check this out. So in Windsor Lock, in Windsor Lock, Connecticut, there's a trailer park in the old industrial areas that have been gutted. And the old ladies that live there, they're trying to they said the whole reason why we compromised with living in a trailer park is to escape the rat race of renting apartments and dealing with like the headache of being locked into a mortgage only to find out that like the foundation of the basement is like rotted with mold and all fucked up, right? So you're going into debt upwards of like $250,000 for something that looks like someone farted in a box and put a fucking roof on it. And they said the whole reason why we moved to Windsor Lock in Connecticut and fucking moved into trailer parks is to escape this. And then the fucking guy that owns the trailer park lot, he's charging fucking $300 to $600 in parking fees for the trailer. So all the ways of like all the methods and the life hacks of trying to escape the nonsense rat race, like all of it's being attacked. All of it's being financially targeted.
Let me just say the way that we reproduce our society on a daily basis by living in houses and everything that goes into making our society what it is, it leads to this like impossible situation for us. I mean, look at that. My house is a great example. When we bought our house, it was $185,000 less than what it's worth now, right? That's only 13 years ago, man.
Yeah.
And nothing has changed. We didn't build some big addition. It's because other properties have been sort of strategically bought in certain locations to drive the asset prices of all of these properties up to use in a block as a big investment as part of some huge conglomerate's portfolio. That's why it is impossible for us to buy houses now. That's why guys like the one in this silly jacket here are living in vans. It all goes back to what Bill was saying, right? That like, and you too, Justin, like, people are looking for ways to run away from this problem, right? And it seems to me that there are two responses to crises, two human responses: fight or flight.
Yeah.
Right. And not everyone has that immediate fight response the way I do or you do. A lot of people flight and they go to these absurd lengths or lengths that look silly to us sometimes, like that jacket looks silly. Because that's how they're built. But if the people who fight don't step up and fight for them, nothing's ever going to change. So maybe I'm wrong in blaming all these guys. Maybe it's on us, right? Like maybe we should be getting together with other fighters and saying, all right, fellas, it's time.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I don't know. I agree with you, Noah. I really do. I just look at these guys differently. I just think that they're fucking pussy drug addicts. And, I mean, dude, you know I'm willing to fight for everything. I mean, I got a little girl, we got to look out for the future of our kids, our grandkids, stuff like that. And these people, I mean, what the fuck do they have? They have nothing because they're so nihilistic. They're so nihilistic to the point where, all right, I got nothing. I'll fucking leave everything behind. I'm going to buy a van and I'm just going to travel from fucking state to state, going to EDM festival to EDM festival and do every single drug on the fucking way. Well, from my experience, that's what it is.
The craziest thing is that some of these people are living like this with kids, which is absolutely fucking insane to me.
That's crazy. That's wild.
Some of these people, they make like a social media thing out of it. And it's like, we're going on an adventure, like your favorite fucking wholesome Chungus fucking road trip movie, and it's fun. And I'm like, this is fucking insane. Like, this is psychotic. This country is a fucking insane asylum pretending to be a country.
And shit, some of these guys, they're smart enough to recognize that, like, hey, I'm running from something, right? So if you're smart enough to recognize you're running from something, then you're smart enough to educate other people, you know what I mean, and stand up collectively.
The other thing
form a fucking popular front.
The other thing too I wanted to cover is that the stuff that's happening with Tesla vehicles and Linux and fucking what was happening with the John Deere tractors. How farmers that they use fucking so in the pile driving industry we call it farmer's rod because it's hard steel, right? So the farmer's rod is the same shit that they use to repair their own tractors. What was happening a couple of years ago with John Deere is that if you try to do your own repairs like a farmer does, because they can't afford to keep bringing it to the dealership, it's thousands of dollars, that what would happen is they would do their own repairs, and the fucking computer system on board the John Deere would phone home to John Deere's fucking servers and signal to them that you did your own repairs, and then they would lock you out of your own tractor, which if you're already taking multi-$1,000 loans out for a tractor and some computer geeks just fucked your whole shit up with code saying that, well, since you repaired it yourself, you're locked out of it and it won't start now. That throws a whole fucking monkey wrench in your operation. So Louis Rossman he's a computer repair guy in New York, and he's more of a libertarian guy, but he has correctly pointed out that these guys are trying to fuck us, because every time when an average person who's not a computer person has come into his office to do repairs and stuff, he gets fucking stop gated and shit on by these computer companies, whether it's Microsoft or Hewlett Packard or fucking especially Apple, when he tries to do these repairs for these average people that aren't computer guys and they don't have multi-$1,000 equipment to solder the fucking circuit board or whatever the fuck. It falls on him to explain, hey, I want to do this repair for you, but the original manufacturer has my nuts in a vice. And he has to explain to customers how, like, and they don't fully understand it. And he realized that this is not just the computer industry, it's expanding in like nationally. Every industry is adopting this strategy. The same thing that Edison Motors was pointing at in shitification. So what he's talking about in this video was a recent win a couple of years ago where John Deere faced the consequences of that. And they had to acknowledge right to repair your own fucking vehicle that you paid thousands of dollars for.
It's the World Economic Forum's slogan, you will own nothing and be
nothing,
happy.
You'll be happy.
They're literally, look, people always talk about, oh, the evil commies want to take all your shit. These are the capitalists, right? These are the guys who own everything, and they're the ones taking away our shit. If you play video games, you don't own those video games anymore.
Exactly.
You buy a license to temporarily use their shit.
I pointed out the irony of like Asmongold watchers and like video gamers. They correctly identified the contradictions within the system. It's like, this is dog shit. Like, this is a dog shit product. It's fucking horrendous. They want microtransactions on microtransactions and fucking battle passes and fucking licenses you have to pay extra for after you already bought the game, right?
And
You're supposed to own it.
That came straight from Epstein.
Exactly. He wanted to get the youth addicted to the system. That's what he said. He said we want to indoctrinate the youth into capitalism. So the irony here is that gamers can correctly identify it when it comes to their chalky milk and tendies and their entertainment. But then when it comes outside of that, if you go a little bit further and you start talking about the John Deere tractors and your computer and your fucking cell phone and your Tesla, your Cybertrucks or whatever, then whoa, we're not communists, head ass, right? So then you run into this contradiction and this cognitive dissonance where it's like, well, you can successfully identify when it comes to your entertainment and your chalky milk and tendies and fucking anime figures. But then when we start talking about trucks and construction work and farming work, for some reason, like, you get a hang up. There's a cognitive dissonance there. So what's going on?
I just want to say, I don't give a fuck what you call it. You can call it capitalism, communism. You can call it a pink,
whatever you want.
I don't give a shit. Something's got to give.
Call it Peepee-Poopooism. I don't, whatever the fuck. I like something needs to
I don't
change.
even. I don't even correct coworkers anymore when they're like, "Oh, you know, they're fucking watching us in the work trucks." Blah blah blah. It's so communist. I'm like, you know,
I got a camera in my truck. I got a camera in my truck because
they put it in to police and watch the truck workers. Yep.
Yeah.
Exactly.
And the insurance
the Chinese Communist Party.
The insurance company, they give a huge discount to trucking companies to install inward facing cameras in their trucks. So I'm constantly being supervised This used to be a job where you were by yourself, not being supervised, but now you're being supervised. This truck is being tracked down with GPS. It's an inward and outward facing camera. Yeah, no privacy anymore.
You constantly surveilled. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, as long as they're looking over their fucking investment, making sure that you're not fucking it up, right?
So the reason why I brought up the Linux thing, the age verification shit, and this is operating system wide. It's Windows, it's Mac OS. They're gonna adhere to it. The thing with Linux, and personally, I use Linux because I value my own personal privacy, not because I'm doing anything wrong, but it's just a matter of principle. Like, I don't want to be cattle. I don't want to be watched. I'm not an animal in a zoo enclosure for you to fucking watch. Fuck you. But the reason why I bring this up in the context of this conflict is that, like, this is a slippery slope. And there's no way to really realistically enforce this because, number one, Linux, some of the Linux distros, they're built by kids in their parents' fucking basement. It's just an average guy who knows how to code. It's just a dude who believes in this stuff and believes in having free open source operating systems you can see the back end of and see what it does. So then there's 20 different distros right now, and there's new ones popping up every other year. How the fuck are you going to enforce this? Like, logically? But this slippery slope here, and you see it with Discord, with like digital ID verification now, it starts with, oh, we're doing it to protect the children. That's a facade, because we would have indicted all the people that are redacted in the Epstein files months ago if that was the case. This is not about protecting kids. Think about this. You're on your fucking Windows computer or your Apple computer, or even maybe like a more mainstream Linux distro like Ubuntu that's used more commercially to maintain like x.com servers or whatever, Oracle servers, whatever the fuck. And you get locked out because they identify your social media and like your personal notes and documents that are on your computer. They identify you as socially subversive, and your political opinions are not kosher enough for the state. Right? That's where this is headed. Where they want this age verification shit, is a slippery slope where they're going to point out political dissidents, and they're going to lock you out of your system that you paid hundreds or thousands of dollars for, that should belong to you, and you should be able to command it the way that you need to. Same thing with the John Deere tractor. You paid thousands of dollars for this piece of equipment. It's your equipment. You should fucking own it. And this is where this is going. If you're a political dissident, they're going to say, oh, we don't want you on our operating system because you have unkosher political opinions, and you're subversive against Pete Hegseth and fucking Donald Trump and fucking Howard Lutnick and Donald Trump. It's all fucking retard shit.
It's like, as people are waking up, we need a good term for them, by the way. The whole crew, the Epsteinites or whatever,
Yeah.
They know everything you're thinking, writing, gonna do. The amount of surveillance we're constantly under is world-shatteringly large. I feel like this kind of thing is naturally going to happen in a big way as people recognize they need to fight. They need to take away the ability once people realize that's the only solution. So what are they going to do? They're going to disconnect us. They're going to divide and conquer. They're going to, I don't know, maybe pit us against our coworkers and our neighbors because they voted for Joe Biden or Donald Trump, or they watched Fox and not CNN, or vice versa, right? It's always going to be a divide and conquer. Keep us separate and pick us off one by one.
One by one.
So I really appreciate people like this Linux guy who are just here fighting the good fight. Like, we should be free to own our own shit, period.
There was the maintainers and founders of another one. I forgot, it was another Linux distro that this guy in the video, he reached out to them and he was like, do you have any comments or any planned response to California and Colorado passing these laws? So that's 2 states, by the way. So that means that it is going to expand. But the maintainers and founders responded like, we have no real comment, and we have nothing to do with California's retarded ass law. They literally said that in response. Like, that was the maintainers, like, in the DMs, they were like, we have nothing to do with this retarded, stupid law that can't even be enforced, and we're not going to adhere to it.
That's awesome.
Super funny. Yeah.
they always test out the more draconian things before instituting it on a wider scale.
Exactly.
Or they'll like do a media spotlight, right? Like they'll have the media make it look like it's bigger than it is in order to test our responses. It's wild. Like everything tech is just driving us in this direction of like the things as they are just not being possible to continue. Did you guys see the Bernie Sanders like report that he did on AI? He's talking about over the next 10 years, like they did this big study that AI is going to destroy nearly 100 million jobs. That is 1/3 of America. 1/3 of America. And here's the thing, they're not going to just change our jobs, make them easier because now we can have AI help. They're just going to get rid of us. Look at all the reports that people like that write for the Atlantic write. It's all about how to deal with the excess population, they call us. And so this point of we're gonna have to fight. Look, I don't see any way around it happening after 10 years from now. You know, like this 10-year mark, like it's crazy. Like if you look at they had this graph in there, and it jumps in the .com boom, right? Like of the jobs being lost, and then it goes up and up and up. In 2023, it just skyrockets. It's wild the way that the profits are working, and they're going to continue getting more and more profits as they pay less and less of us.
Yeah, but I mean, it's proof enough that there's no going back. Our infrastructure has, our daily lives have become so dependent on modern technology. There's absolutely no going back. So we shouldn't be afraid of shit like this.
I'm not like I'm super pro AI. I like AI.
Oh yeah, I know.
I like it.
No, but I'm just saying though that it just goes to show that it's inevitable. The instatement of a new economic system, a new system of governance. There's no going around it. It needs to fucking happen. This is the sustainability of humanity, of society itself. It needs to happen.
How long has your union been fighting for like basic shit? What if we just like kicked what we got to the curb and just like have us in charge, right? Like the masses, we the people. Whatever happened to government of, by, and for the people, right? Like right now we got government of, by, and for these assholes in the picture here.
So I sent in the studio chat a news article talking about how Hyundai and Korea are already experimenting with outdoor automated welding. This is an outdoor welder. It's a welding armature that's in like an outdoor shipyard. Even welding and trade work, it's moving. So first it goes towards the soft skill work, then it expands towards hard skill work. And what I was going to say is the issue is not automation in and of itself. The issue isn't AI itself. The issue is who is in control of it. Whoever controls artificial intelligence gets to dictate all of reality. They get to dictate civilization. Why should it be in the hands of assholes who listen to Noah Yuval Harari and Curtis Yarvin, who both have these misanthropic tendencies where they believe that like the vast majority of the population are useless eaters that need to be coddled and pacified with video games, drug addiction, and porn? Why should we listen to those people? And this is where I said before, like the entire fucking Western discourse has been cybernetically captured, where you're either going to get Patriot pods, you're going to live in the Patriot pod and eat Patriot bug protein TM, or you're going to have Kamala Harris style, like gender inclusive, racial diverse fucking protein bugs and living pods. No matter which way you go, you're not going to vote your way out of this. All right. Like I've seen people like speculate and float the idea of universal basic income. Some of the individuals that float this idea basically want like a Helldivers video game style society where you have, the people that don't work, they're second-class citizens that don't deserve to vote, even though we're automating everything. So you're going to automate these people out of work and then set up universal basic income, and then you're going to punish the people that you just displaced out of the labor force. That seems really fucking retarded and backwards to me.
If I could ask a question real quick, those people that are being displaced, will they find new jobs in the like tech industry, maintaining, programming these artificial
There's not enough. That's so people have been trying to research, because the trajectory where it's headed, it's, as Phil pointed out, it's pretty much inevitable. Once Pandora opens the box, you can't fucking close it. It's already here. So what you pointed out, Richie, there's multiple like analytic thinkers and philosophers that are trying to address this, and they ask that question. The problem is when you start looking at the statistic data, there's not enough job growth to actually meet the demand for the number of people that are going to be displaced. The jobs that are going to be produced by this stuff is so heavily specialized and so specially like niche, and the bar to entry is so high in regards to education and whatnot, that, and even if you streamline and effectively make the process of educating people like more open and more easily attainable, the job demand is still going to be so low, because it only needs like one guy to just kind of walk into the warehouse filled with like armatures and humanoid automatons. Like, he just walks in, he checks his little fucking info pad, right? That guy, that job where you just walk in and make sure that the robots aren't fucking like chucking packages across the distribution line, that job, it doesn't need that much maintenance. There's not that much overhead involved at all. It's a very simple job, and it's just very basic logistics, and essentially just runs itself. The fucking CEO of NVIDIA, his company, NVIDIA, basically streamlined telemetry tracking data where you can fully automate and like digitally simulate live warehouse processes on a warehouse floor for shipping and distribution. That's how advanced this stuff is getting. It just hasn't gotten rolled out yet because not enough investors have forked out the cash to fully transition over into it. The only thing left is just building the infrastructure. They already have this shit set up. They already know what they want to do.
I think about it this way. Before, let's say, power tools were invented, let's just randomly say it took 40 guys to frame out a room, to build the frames for the walls and put them up. Everybody with a hammer and nails, right? Once they had that screw gun, that changed everything. 5 guys could now do that work in less time. AI is like that times 1,000.
Exactly. It's
3D printing fucking
exponential.
houses.
And it's like even jobs like my job requires a lot of math and precision, right? Like, my hand is the steadiest thing I know. Like, out of everything, I will trust my hand over a tripod for a camera. I'm not joking. It's just
no.
Over the years, it's gotten that steady. And no, Phil, it's not because I'm gay like you are.
No. I'm just wondering, why the fuck does a painter need math, dude? Why does a painter need math?
Yeah, what math are you doing, dude? What the fuck?
How
like
much
red plus blue equals green, dude.
You gotta measure how much paint to put into the machine.
Dude, it's just a color wheel at Home Depot, dude. What the fuck? Nobody gives a fuck, dude.
Dude, you gotta count all the colors on the color wheel.
Wall space, you're measuring material volume, stuff like that. But all that is much better done by AI and robots than even my hand with 13 years experience. Why wouldn't they even get rid of the good guys like me and just have one dude run the robots? They would, right? They got to pay me, a bunch of money to do a job that the robot guy will do for less, because these jobs are going to be in high demand and they got so much less of them. I mean, if I think about just how much in labor, our total package, I think, is just under $60 an hour, right? Like, we got a raise coming up. That's not what I take home, but that's how much our company pays the union for my labor, right? And that goes into my pension and my insurance and union dues, etc. But they don't need all these union guys each getting that once it's just robots, right? And the technology is already here. It's never going to go away. I was watching like the insane shit they're doing in China now with this kind of technology, like wallpaper hanging. That's another thing my union covers, right?
That's really funny.
because they can paint something better now.
Look at the news article that fucking Ren pulled up, and look at the small text.
I can't read it. What's it say?
It said manufacturing gained 5,000 jobs in January, and then in the fine print it says, however, revised Bureau of Labor Statistics data showed there were more job cuts in 2025 than initially reported. That's exactly the problem. That's what's happening with this shit.
Yep.
That's exactly the problem.
Crazy.
And look, organizationally speaking, unions are one of the last places guys can organize to get shit done and get that mentality you need that, oh, if we actually want something to change, we can't go it alone. You know, we need our union brothers with us. We need something else. And so, like, I really worry about the trades and this kind of stuff, man. I don't know.
That's what the dock workers did. They went on strike for 3 days to prevent automation from being implemented in the ports.
But it's like, we shouldn't have to, like, automation should be good. We should be able to welcome that and still make the same money. Like, what happened to, look, the unions back in the day, the steel workers and the longshoremen, you know what they actually fought for? Shorter work
Reduction of labor hours.
Work weeks.
Reduction of labor hours, exactly. That was the original fight.
Exactly.
That was one of the first fights.
We know for a scientific fact that we're only productive for just under 6 of our 8-hour day. So why are we still working 8 hours? Why not cut that down to 6? Cut the work week down to 4, keep the same pay, and begin automating.
I want to take a crack at answering that question. Why do all these corporations insist on having our union brothers still work 40, 50, 60, 70-hour work weeks? Why? Why does that still get pushed anyways? All of us here, we got a laborer that does concrete and asbestos work. We got a fucking truck driver, got a painter, welder, pile driver, right? Well, what's the difference between us and like Elon Musk and fucking Peter Thiel and Jeff Bezos? What's the difference between us and the CEO of Oracle? What's the difference between us and those guys? The biggest key difference.
We don't fuck kids.
And they're
we don't fuck kids, number one. Yeah, that's a big one.
Appropriate labor time?
The labor time. Richie fucking, so the difference between us and these billionaire CEOs is that why was the original fight over the reduction of labor hours? If you're a CEO and you view your time as valuable and you have this no nonsense, oh, I don't have time for that, I got a meeting at blah blah blah, like, and it's a 1-hour meeting and the rest of your day is free. All of these individuals have free time to study the wealth and treasures of mankind. They can study philosophy, they can study political theory, and ruminate and think over all the different ways that they can manipulate us while we are busy, like, still in the maze of their rat race that they constructed for us.
Making them rich.
We're producing value. Our labor hours produce value.
But what I'm saying is
nothing.
They produce nothing. But if you have more free time to war against that, if you have more free time to educate yourself and study the wealth and treasures of mankind like they do, and study philosophy and political theory and all these things, if you have more free time, that makes you a threat. So they need to keep us as busybodies running around like chickens with our heads cut off, like working all these hours, so that we never band together and hold them accountable for their bullshit. That's why. That's the difference.
I really want to start, like, pushing my union. What if, okay, I'm getting ahead of myself here, but what if we could make a call to start pushing our unions to fight for a 6-hour day? I don't think that's unreasonable.
Mm-hmm.
I don't. And, you know, there's going to be guys like, look, they drill it into your head. You work that 10-hour shift when you need to. You make your OT. That's where your money's at, fellas, the OT. And for me, and yes, the money is in the OT, don't get me wrong. But for me, if they have the capacity to pay that overtime pay, they have the capacity to pay it regardless.
Well, hey, like, can I take that a step further? Let's make it a fucking 4-hour day, right?
Yeah.
So then we have another shift come in after us.
Take
the other 4-hour fucking shift, right? Now you double the fucking jobs that your union fucking has.
Exactly. Everyone gets to eat. Everyone gets to fucking eat. You can maintain your American way of life. You can take care of your kids and your family. And even more so, because now you have time to spend with them and take care of them while getting paid the same. If they're already willing to pay it, what's the difference? It's all just formalism. It's all formalism and ritual. It's bullshit.
And then you don't have the fucking jobs issue, a job shortage. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
You clean up the fucking streets. You know, now you have these fucking retards in vans, you know, stuck in one fucking place because now they have a fucking job that pays well and they have benefits. You know, they ain't fucking running anymore. There you go. Problem solved.
And
work is.
You'd get over the hump of layoffs, right?
Yeah.
I don't know how your guys' industries are, but in the winter it slows down, and the guys who don't have the skills get laid off frequently. You know, and I always feel terrible for those guys.
My brother is like one of the best, and he gets job offers left and right, and even he got laid off this season. There was so much snow, and all the equipment kept getting frozen over that you lose productivity and you lose like actual productive hours just defrosting shit and standing around. So then they just shut down for a while.
Man, we need to re-radicalize our unions and start like really pushing for this kind of stuff. Back in the day, like you guys, I don't know like how deep in labor history you guys are, but I'm kind of a nerd about it. Like the old CIO style, like take no shit, fucking Big Bill Hayward, like ripping his shirt open, saying like, "You come for my boys, you come for me," shit like that. Like,
yeah,
that's what we need, man. Yeah. Look, when you fight, you win. My union just over a year ago got the biggest contract increase in union history. You know why? Because the companies weren't paying what they should have. And we said, no more. You're paying us what we deserve. Well, it's not even what we deserve yet, but you're paying us more. Yeah. And all the trades banded with us. We shut down construction in Cleveland. Nothing happened. And you know who gets to say that? The workers say that. If we use our voice. That's it. All we got to do is use it.
Sorry, yeah, this is a document from the CIA, an evaluation of the program for reducing the work week in the USSR. And in it, they literally say how the USSR was able to reduce the work week to from 48 to 46 hours, and then their goal was to reduce it to 41 hours. They've been transferred to the shorter work week. Reduction of the work week was largely accomplished without lowering average weekly earnings.
I was literally about to say, I didn't want to like hammer too much on like the Soviet Union point, but what Phil pointed out is by like adding more shifts so that everyone gets a chance to eat, like 4-hour shift for like first shift, and then second shift and third shift, like 4 hours, like. That is one of the strategies by how the Soviet Union reduced the work week.
So if the Soviets can do it, we can do it.
Yeah.
I mean, we're goddamn Americans, guys. We can do shit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We won the space race.
Damn straight.
Fuck them.
If you believe we walked on the moon. Yo.
If you believe that, yeah. As long as you don't look too far into what Stanley Kubrick said, yeah.
Right.
My conspiracy is it was a white Dominican that made it
90 and he punched a kid who said it was fake. There's a video. It is so funny. Buzz Aldrin. So okay, you know those like TikTok prank guys? They'll just like do like say something rude to someone and that's their prank. So this kid he walked up to Buzz Aldrin and said something like, "Oh, the moon landing was fake. You didn't really walk on the moon." And Buzz Aldrin, 90 years old man, hobbling along, lays this kid out, just decks him right in the face. It is so funny, man.
Well,
will you find that video for us?
It's crazy that someone would underestimate a fucking former astronaut because they get the same PT training as like a fucking Marine.
Yeah, they're hardcore.
Oh no, it's way worse too. Like way worse than a fucking Marine training.
It's very stringent and brutal, and they also. They're not just space nerds. Like they also have.
This is it. Hold on. We gotta watch this, Justin.
Crank that shit, soldier boy.
Yeah, we can't hear it.
Turn it way the fuck up. Turn it way up.
Yeah.
This is anticlimactic.
We can't hear a thing, man.
Yo, was this like a Mandela effect where like Noah thought he punched him, but he didn't?
No, he gets laid the fuck out.
Oh.
Yeah, he gets laid.
Oh
the fuck
shit.
out.
Like and subscribe, or Buzz Aldrin will punch you in the face.
You know what else is you know what else is super weird? A rabbit hole that I fell down. Fucking Buzz Aldrin had some sort of like I don't know, like recreational expedition down to Antarctica, and
I heard about that actually.
He witnessed something that sent him into like a terror shock, to the extent that he had a fucking stroke and he had to get airlifted out, like an emergency like evac out of there. Yeah, and there was this cryptic tweet that he had where he posted a photo on his personal Twitter, like his authentic personal real Twitter account. He posted a photo of a fucking of a mountain that pretty much like 1-to-1 looks like a pyramid, and it had like on each face it's equalized, like it's perfectly symmetrical on each face, and everyone says it's just a natural mountain and a natural formation. And he said, we have unleashed like unbelievable evil or something like that.
Whoa.
And also, no, it's not false. That the fact check thing is false. There's other people that found archives of it on the way back. So I don't even know why the fact check website
none
is
of
doing
those
that.
fact check. Okay, public service announcement: never believe any fact checking site. Period. Think for yourself. You are smart enough to critically think, put 2 and 2 together, and know what's right and what's not. Don't just believe bullshit like that, like Snopes and all that. It's all bullshit. It's all owned by Epstein types.
No, right there. So yeah,
Oh,
so that's a screenshot of an archived. He deleted the tweet. So then the fact checker websites all started parroting the narrative like, oh, this is fake and doctored. He deleted the tweet. Some other guys went on the Wayback Machine and found it again and took screenshots of it. After they screenshotted it and stored the images, the Wayback Machine scrubbed it, which was really fucking weird and creepy. It's similar to what happened with the fucking like the Fortnite shit with Epstein, where like the fucking the gameplay activity on that account that was based in Israel that had literally 1-to-1 the same username. The activity on the account coincided when he got imprisoned. So when he was imprisoned, his gameplay and activity took a nosedive and he stopped playing. And then after he died, when it was announced in the press, activity spiked up again and went into 2023. So something similar happened with the Buzz Aldrin thing, where he had a fucking stroke and got evac'd out of Antarctica. There's like an old like special military research project called Operation High Jump that was conducted in Antarctica by the U.S. military, and nobody really. So the whole thing in the public was marketed as it was like a cutting edge research expedition, but nobody knows like the exact details and explicit details of the data that was gathered off of Operation High Jump. And the military general that was in charge of it and basically like did some cowboy shit and got launched out of the plane and did it himself along with commanding it. That guy, he died like a few years back, and he still, nobody even asked him like, what did you discover out there? So I don't even know. It's just a weird rabbit hole.
It makes me think, like, what is this evil that Aldrin was talking about unleashing?
It's the white Dominicans.
Richie in particular. Richie just came like flying out of that pyramid like Black Adam. Dude. No, like it's because here's the thing, like, look, we know for a verifiable fact that our government is straight up evil. There's so much we don't know about the world. And so much, even as advanced as our technology is, so much stuff science can't explain yet. And this pyramid looking like it does, and Buzz Aldrin's very creepy tweet saying we unleashed something evil, and then all of it disappearing is just beyond spooky to me. This is the kind of shit that I think about. I think I speculate in my head for hours. What possibly could he be talking about? Is it some supernatural thing? Is it people? Is it what?
So Jackson, Jackson uncovered the fucking documents confirming HARP weather manipulation and shit.
Really?
Jackson Hinkle did some posts about that, pointing out how, like, oh yeah, this shit got declassified, and it turned out the conspiracy kooks were right, like it was real.
Mm-hmm.
I saw some other weird shit related to this, and supposedly, you know, like, you know how the weird time frame that happens with these conspiracy theories. You know, a year ago it's a conspiracy theory, and give it a year to 3 months, or 3 months to a year, and then it's a conspiracy fact. There was this speculation that I found years ago surrounding this Antarctica thing, where supposedly they got experimental geothermic technology where they can manipulate currents and tectonic shifts of the Earth's plates. And supposedly, like, what they do, the reason why they have these technologies is because the American deep state, through imperialism, they threaten island-dwelling countries and nations with earthquakes because they understand that it's uniquely devastating to countries like Japan, New Zealand, Australia, etc. Like, even if it's a oceanic continental power like Australia, they can still be heavily affected by geothermic shifts and tectonic plate shifts at scale. Supposedly, Japan was threatened by this, and it was publicized by a Japanese ambassador who said any advocacy for Japanese sovereignty, the reason why we're dogs and we get colonized by the West, instead of looking after our own interests and siding with China like we should, he says, like, he said something like Japan was threatened with this type of project, and they demonstrated it. They caused an earthquake, and that led to the Fukushima nuclear power plant failure. And but this is like, I don't have anything definitive on this. This is like, but there is video footage of that Japanese diplomat talking with the author of Behold a Pale White Horse. And the guy who wrote Behold a Pale White Horse, he uncovered DUMBs before it became declassified and publicly known. And people called him a conspiracy kook nutcase, even though he was former naval intelligence. He uncovered DUMBs in his book. And then later on, DUMBs goes public. And now we know that there's deep underground military bases with like secret societies and shit in there. So who knows? Like, how he conducted an interview with that Japanese diplomat, the guy who wrote A Pale White Horse, and that Japanese guy was like, "Oh yeah."
Can I just say something? I will never ever discredit or disavow Justin's conspiracies, because they're so fucking out of this world, yo. Like, it's like so out of this world, so unbelievable that it is entirely fucking believable.
You know, people say that the earthquake in Haiti was man-made.
I am sure of.
I heard about that. I mean, people were saying that it was to bully Haiti for trying to have sovereignty. Yeah.
I am sure of 3 things in this life, gentlemen. Richie's an immigrant. Bill is gay. Justin is right about everything.
And he's fucking gay.
And he's a fucking faggot, dude.
Man, okay, so that is a great place to wrap up for tonight. You guys watching, all 35 of you.
Yeah, I think we reached like a fucking apex, like a crescendo with the Antarctica Balls Aldrin fucking conspiracy.
Tonight's show is now.
Oh fuck!
Have a great night, everybody. We'll see you next week.
Oh yeah, I've seen that. That's a good quote, William Blunt.
Why are you flipping me off, Richie? What the fuck?
Mexican supremacy.
Mexican supremacy. La Raza.
I'm gonna come to your house and run you over, right? I'm gonna come to your house. I know where you live.
Yo, Richie, are you classified as a DEI hire?
I don't know. I have no idea. That's a good question. I gotta figure that out. I gotta find out.
Misclassified again.